Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, from Brownsburg, Indiana, where we've been staying all week out here in the Midwest. Just leaving the hotel now to head east a few hours to the Eldora Speedway for the Let's Race 2 weekend with the Outlaws and USAC. After driving for a little bit heading towards the track, you know you're coming up to Eldora when you drive through fields and fields and fields of nothing, and randomly this racetrack appears in front of you. We had to get here a little early for the weekend just to get the t-shirt trailer parked in our designated spot, and then of course had to walk up and check out the racetrack. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the Big E. What a beautiful shot of this famous half mile. We just got the t-shirt trailer parked here behind turns 3 and 4. The Tarleton Motorsports rig will be here soon, and kind of what we're waiting on now is weather. You can see the clouds behind us. It doesn't look super favorable that we're not gonna get hit by a storm between now and race time, but our fingers crossed that we're gonna get tonight's show in and we're gonna get some laps in at the famous Eldora Speedway. So between the USAC guys and the World of Outlaws, there's quite a few 410s in the pit area. We're just under 1 hour until race time. I think we're gonna be sitting in between 30 and 40 World of Outlaw winged 410 sprint cars. So it's gonna be a great showing here for the Let's Race 2 weekend Friday to kind of open things up. The Big E, this place is just simply amazing. All race fans have to see it, has to be on the bucket list. And the banking on this racetrack, part of the reason I wanted to come up here, it's hard to even to show, like my camera will never do it justice, but this place, man, it's got really, really good angle bottom to top, and you can really run all over the racetrack. That's why this place for a half mile puts on a good show. Usually slickens off. There's a lane up by the wall, a lane by the bottom. You see guys throw sliders and kind of just run wherever to build momentum. And your car's gotta be good. You gotta be stuck, you gotta have a lot of grip, and you gotta be aggressive right from the drop of the green flag. So we're ready to take you guys along for today. Here in just a little bit, we will have the pit meeting, then we'll be getting suited up and rolling to engine heat, hot laps, and qualifying. Of course, remember with the Outlaws, the better you time trial, the better you qualify, the farther up you're gonna start in that heat race, which then usually leads to dash appearances and starting up front in the feature later on. Now, before we get rolling, let me tell you about the sponsor of today's show, Dirt Draft. So here's what you need to do. You need to go on your phone or on your computer, and you need to go to the Dirt Draft website and app. Now, this will give you access to bet on your favorite 5 drivers with the World of Outlaws this weekend, or with USAC, or with the other series that the Dirt Draft app, works with. The Lucas Oil Late Models, Flow Racing Night in America, Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series, Short Track Super Series, High Limit, the list kind of goes on. If it's a big series, it's on the Dirt Draft app, and each night you get to compete by selecting your favorite 5 drivers that you think is going to run the best. Now, each driver already has a predetermined number value, so the higher their salary is, basically Dirt Draft thinks they're going to have a better shot at winning that event. Now, the app gives you $100,000, and then you have to select your 5 favorite drivers that are going to fit in that number. So to get started, head on over to the link I have at the top of the description. This will allow you to play against hundreds of fans or in private leagues of your own against your friends. As you play, you'll also be eligible to win prizes through the app, which is another cool feature, and all new subscribers receive a free Dirt Draft t-shirt. So just for signing up, they'll be sending that your way, and now it is time to get on track at Eldora. Well, qualifying is complete here at Eldora. It was really nice to get out there and make laps. this is a fun racetrack just to go fast at. Ended up with 34 410 sprint cars. Unfortunately, in qualifying, I haven't got a chance to look at where we're at, but I know that our lap time wasn't good. So we're gonna have to start in a hole tonight and come from the back of a heat race. You know, we did go out fairly late. The racetrack fell off some, not a lot, but it was more difficult later on in qualifying to lay down the lap needed just to even be top 10, top 15, because everyone's so close, from a low 13 second down to like a 13.1, 13.2, that much. That's how tough these fields are nowadays in 410 sprint car action. For us going out late, like I just didn't feel like I was in the racetrack. I wasn't getting to the center of the corner good, and then by the center, like maybe I'd get off all right, but even like here in 3 and 4, like I just feel like I started to spin as it started to get slick on exit, and I'm just not getting down the straightaway like I needed. So try to watch and see different things. Like, you know, I was trying to keep the car low, but I just couldn't keep low enough on the racetrack as I would have liked. And like I said, my car handling just didn't feel like I was making grip. And you got to be stuck here because, as I mentioned, everyone's so close in time. So we're going to roll into a heat race, quick turnaround, and my crew is going to make quite a few adjustments. We're just going to try to see if we can change it to get our balance closer, and now also deal with dirty airs. We're going to be behind other cars.
Green flag waving on the NOS Energy Drink first heat race. David Gravel low into turn 1, grabs the early race lead. Getting a run now, the 83 of Buddy Copewood as he settles into second. Side by side for third behind them. They go wheel to wheel into 3 and 4. Down low on the Speedway, it's the 55 of Hunter Schurenberg, Jimmy Light, and now up to the final transfer spot. Tanner Holmes in the 21. He looks for more to the inside of Light in corner number 2. Tanner Holmes gets by Jimmy Light to take over the 4th spot, and now Jimmy Light looking back to the inside in 3 and 4. Good battle there for the 4th spot, and now they both close in on the 55 of Hunter Schurenberg. Holmes to the inside into corner number 1. On the outside looking in, Carson Macedo battling for the 3rd spot into corner number 3. Carson Macedo to the inside of Jimmy Light to move for the transfer spot out of turn 4. Hunter Schurenberg back by Tanner Holmes. Holmes looks to the inside in turn 3. They race for the 3rd spot. Holmes slides up in front. Schurenberg cuts back underneath them as they exit the corner side by side across the line. Halfway home, 4 down and 4 to go in the NOS Energy Drink heat race. David Gravel way out in front in car number 2. We continue to watch this fantastic battle for 3rd between Hunter Schurenberg on the outside and Tanner Holmes down low. They roll side by side into turn 1. Schurenberg right rear up on the cushion. He gets the best of that end of the Eldora Speedway. Here comes Holmes back to the inside again in 3 and 4. Pulls even, cannot complete the pass as they cross the line with 2 to go. Holmes again to the inside of Schurenberg, looking for 3rd. Can't quite make it happen in 1 and 2. Leader sees the white flag. 1 lap remaining for David Gravel. Big 2.7 second lead. Schurenberg able to clear. Tanner Holmes just a bit now in that battle for the 3rd spot. Checkered flag in the air. David Gravel dominates the NOS Energy Drink heat race. Buddy Copewood will join him in the Toyota Dash with a 2nd place run at the line. Hunter Schurenberg hangs on for 3rd, Tanner Holmes 4th, and Carson Macedo in 5th.
Well, a really good effort from the 21, our team there in that heat race. Started 8th, drove up to 4th. At a place like Eldora, that's not easy to do. These half miles, guys get spread out, so it's super key to get your positions right away. And luckily enough, we were able to. Kind of starting on the outside helped us. Just got a good start. A lot of guys dove low, as that's where, you know, most of us have been running, and easy to kind of get stuck behind each other in your own air. And I was able to kind of just go like 1 lane up, have a cleaner lane, and pick off guys, you know, lap 1, 2, and have a lot of positive forward momentum. And that's a key word, positive forward momentum. On these half miles, once everyone gets rolling, I said it's hard to pass. Well, early on, when guys are kind of unsure, that's when, if you get a good start, you get rolling, just like we were able to do there. You know, at one point, we were up into the 3rd spot. And kicking myself, I definitely could have ran 3rd. I, just looking back, would have ran my heat race a tiny bit different. I think I slid for the position, and then I just started spinning down the straightaway and kind of gave it back and went back and forth for a few laps. Again, I would have just tried to make the best corner I could, as I did, but you know, if you can make it better or even possibly stick the bottom, there's a lot of grip out there. You just really got to hit it, and then maybe even also, you know, grab a little bit of wing. We got racing so much, I hadn't touched my wing maybe as much as I would have to help give me a little bit more forward drive, but had to catch my breath after that one. It was a good race. You know, like all of a sudden I looked up and I'm like, wait, what spot am I in? I thought I was almost, you know, I got to the front and I was like, wow, there's no cars really around me besides the 2 that had started going. So great heat race. Feels awesome to be in the show, and now we'll see where we end up kind of starting mid-pack and watch and see how the track develops as they run the rest of the heats and the non-wing cars, and then the lower features, dash and all that leading into our feature. So here's an up-close look at turns 3 and 4. This is a great shot of the racetrack which shows you the conditions. You got a slick middle, you have a lot of grip on the bottom. That's why many drivers have been able to use this lane throughout the night, and there's actually still probably another foot and a half on the very wall that has to be packed in, so we're only going to be moving lower as the night goes on, and the top is only going to be getting closer to the outside wall, which is going to fully widen this racetrack into the A main event. So right now, Eldora, they are in hurry-up mode. USAC features on track, then the Outlaws go. There's lots of rain in the forecast in the next hour, so they're trying to push this thing done so we complete it, and then we can focus on tomorrow and see what the weather looks like and if Mother Nature will cooperate. So they got to start in 13th here in the feature, so literally dead center in the middle. Main thing, just like the heat race, to get a good start and try to work on having momentum working forward. Being on the inside, I think our game plan might look a little bit different. Kind of depends how the guys in front of us fire. If for some reason the cars in front of us went to the top, definitely take that clean lane. But if a lot of guys fight for the bottom, just try to get the best angle and catch grip coming off of turn 2. That will allow us, if anyone were to miss the lane or, like I said, is fighting to get to the high side, we have some open track down there to really just have the most grip on the racetrack. Excited. I think I told you guys earlier, Eldora is a place I want laps. I feel like I don't have the experience here, and this is a place you just got to run, over and over and over. They don't have a lot of races here each year. It's just super slick, super banked, a lot about, carrying good momentum, getting your race car right too, so it's working well with the driver. But when you run the bottom, you got to hit it. If you end up in the middle, you got to really keep the car underneath you, but you can build speed. There's guys driving by people in the middle. You see Donnie do it a lot here, come from the back and just drives to the front. And if you're running the top, you usually got to be leaning into the cushion or the wall. So the team's making final adjustments, just getting tires on the car, setting air pressure, doing all that, and we are going to be heading out there. I believe tonight's probably a 30-lap feature, standard 12,000 to win World of Outlaws show. So we're in for a long race and go out there and do the best we can, put the 21 up front. So I wasn't too happy with the first 4 laps of my race there. I just made poor lane choice trying to commit to the outside and stay up there, when in reality if I would have dove back down low, maybe that would have helped break the momentum of the cars behind me, because some guys really shot forward just having their left front on the inside wall. And unfortunately here too, my GoPros are all covered, so you're kind of stuck with this outside shot, but I did get rolling and just practiced on running the high side, because once you get speed up there, it is a quick lane and the cushion had some good grip. So about a third of the way into the race here, we did have a caution, which was a chance for us to reset, settle back down, and I actually gave myself a pep talk. I was like, Tanner, if you're gonna run the top, you gotta run harder, you gotta be a little more buried in it, you gotta be straighter so you can really carry that speed to get down these slick straightaways. And it's going to be hard to tell here in the footage because it's just difficult to see with all the dust and whatnot, but I did gain a position or two back here on the start, just being a little bit smarter, a little bit more aggressive at the right times, and had that positive forward momentum to start working back forward and ultimately just running the best race. So as we kind of fast forward through, I was running about 15th-ish for the second half of the entire show until we made a late race charge. I really got my wing back and passed a few cars right at the end. Well, I made it through the feature. It's getting ready to rain, so the team, they're literally pushing the car in here in minutes. I think we started 12th. We got a row because one car up front had an issue, had to come to the hot pit in the work area before we even went green. Started 12th, I think finished 12th. At one point was back to 17th. Man, I feel like actually this year my starts have been better than a lot of previous seasons for the most part, like attacking. You saw that heat race. In the A-main event though, I just wasn't able to execute the same way. Starting on the outside too, it just made it super difficult with dirty air getting into turn 1. And yeah, just like the first 10, 12, 15 laps, just think some of my lack of experience here at Eldora kind of showed up. The racetrack was pretty slick. The bottom was very thin, and you know, realistically those first couple laps, if I could have got down there just to block some momentum, I got kind of stuck on the top with guys sliding me, and you know, never was going, I told you guys, positive forward momentum, didn't have that, you know, it was kind of just in the middle, and so guys were able just to kind of take advantage of that. And the last 10 laps I was able just to pick it up. A lot of it too, I just got my wing farther back. I was about halfway most of the race, but I could have grabbed it much sooner. Just was trying to, just got caught being a little cautious on top. I didn't want to get it too back, and then like you get into the grip with your right rear and then push. But realistically here, almost like the cushion's a little crummy, not super thick, so you can really run it hard, and that was my mistake and some why my car wasn't where it needed to be. Then there at the end, once I pulled it back, like drove through the middle a little bit, like got by 2 cars at the end. Overall was much better. So to note tonight, obviously we got to qualify better tomorrow, race good in the heat race, and then just got to pick it up more in the feature. And if we can maybe even start farther up front, better track position. It's just really tough in dirty air. Those first couple laps you can't really see when you're in the middle of the pack. Guys are kind of going everywhere, and it's really tough to know where to be. You're almost driving into nothing with all the dust. Wish we could have been top 10, but you know, glad that we fought back at least to where we started for just overall a solid night, and for us to dig out of a 29th quick qualifying hole, I think that was a success for our team. So best run, you know, 12th place finish, best run yet though for me at Eldora, and really pumped to come back tomorrow and hoping Mother Nature allows. Well, we couldn't do a night at Eldora without showing you guys the track surface. I mean, look at this, right up on the wall. And if you look down, you can't even see it, but the bottom, it's so narrow. Just had to have your left front down by the wall. One of the toughest racetracks in all of sprint car racing right here. Just how you have to be able to move around, how physically, mentally demanding it is. To run 30 laps here, it really is a long race. The laps feel like a long time. We did like a first green flag run. I think we only had like, what, 1 or 2 yellows there. The first run, I'm like, sure enough, we're 20 laps into it. I look up and we were only 10. We were only a third of the way through. We still had another 2/3 to go. As I told you guys, I really used the top side of 3 and 4. And if I could do it all over again, in my notes for tomorrow, if I was in the exact same spot, you know, move around a little bit more early just to disrupt the cars around me. But once I got rolling, get to the top side, or, you know, use the bottom, because I didn't even give it as legit of a shot down there. I just think that my car was really good on top. Once I got some wing in my race car, got that thing planted, got it gripped up, got it driving. If I would have done that more from the get-go, I think I would have gave myself a much better opportunity. But I want to give a big thank you to Drew Warner, Carly, again, just us 3 tonight, and really just those guys. I mean, they're doing everything and really did a great job tuning our race car to you know, allow us to run 12th tonight. And also a big shout out to Tom, Tommy, little Tommy, the rest of the family. Seriously, those guys put so much into having this 21 car, you know, driving around the country right now, right? We're a couple thousand miles from home, so really appreciate those guys, you know, allowing us to do this and, you know, be out here on the road for a little bit with their equipment. Mother Nature let us get one in tonight. It's about to pour all night long. So that's gonna end today's show. Thank you guys so much for watching. The Big E, this place is so freaking sick. I can't say enough about it. Really want to get back here and want to run as many races as I can here in the future. Just one of the most fun racetracks in all of sprint car racing. But rigs are out of here. 21 rigs already headed to the car wash. I'm about to go get the t-shirt trailer to follow, and we'll see you guys hopefully back here tomorrow. Deuces.